Oh, here we go with some more complications to start off cul-de-sac trash, the Sayber Court podcast. I think it's because it's storming outside, but we've been having a lot of technical issues, and this is our third take at starting this sucker. The last take took an hour until we realized it was. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't that bad. This is the 100th episode special. Isn't that right, Nazari?
Yes, indeed.
This is the third time I made that joke. Also,
all these takes is getting close to 103.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was saying this earlier, but I just want to say it again that I have been having headaches for the past 2 days because I've been accidentally drinking decaf coffee when I thought it was regular coffee, and I'm such a caffeine addict that I've been so sluggish, I guess, lately. And I've been having to do a lot of work, but man, outside of that, when I like settle down, I'm just like, holy shit, I have such a bad headache. So I don't know, but I feel like more energized now because I just downed a Coke because I was like, I was drinking decaf, so I had to get my caffeine in. So I don't know. Holy shit. What's up with you guys? I know Jacob's got done with spring break. Now he's back at school.
God.
He's back in prison.
Very
his little
sadly.
prison cell.
Yeah, back to the drab, posterless, colorless wall and room that I get to look at.
So answer me this. When you get your meals, do they slide it under the door? Or is it a cafeteria situation?
No, it's definitely the full cafeteria, stank eye path that, you gotta make your room. I definitely hit the biggest person I found when I got here. Made sure to get that out of the way early. It did not go well for me. No, not at all. I ended up in the trash can for several hours. We have places on campus I go and get food all the time, but it definitely feels like prison food after a while. You get 4 choices of very salty, unhealthy meals. Which one are you taking today?
Can I just say real quick? I don't mean to derail anything. Not that could even happen on the show. I've been watching Community late at night, right before bed. Sorry, I keep looking at you, bro. with that crooked smile. No, I'm just kidding. That Diet Coke's hitting me. It's diet. It's sad. The sad thing is not even regular Coke. Anyways.
No. Stay away from that stuff, man. It's bad for you.
I know. I think it's a Coke Zero, actually. I lied. It might have been a Coke Zero. I don't even know the difference between no sugar. That's all I know.
Well, go ahead. I got something.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, I've been watching Community late at night before bed, and I've been watching season 1 because apparently I started at season 2, never watched season 1, so I'm watching that, or I just finished it actually. And they had an episode on there that was incredible. I was like, holy shit! It was literally just an homage to Goodfellas. The whole time they used quotes, all that shit. And one of the guys breaks the fourth wall a little bit. And he treats everything like a TV show or a movie. And he was like, for as far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be in a mafia movie. And the whole episode was about them, like taking over the chicken nugget business in the cafeteria. And I was just like, Jacob would love this. Like how many references they're doing. It was just, it was great. So that's what made me think of that. It was so good. It was so good. I felt like we kind of had that going on at our school with chicken nuggets at some point. There was some black market shit going on, but
there were some deals made on Chicken Nugget Day. Sure, people, I
actually,
have this 3-day-old pizza. How many can I get for that?
Yeah. And I say actually because actually, but yeah.
Something I want to preface before we get started into this, and just as I gave an example of there, last time I was on this thing, I had a good time. I had a little bit too much of a good time because I think just about every time you spoke, I interrupted you.
Dude,
I think every time almost. I know that's not a huge thing, but like, I don't know. I'm going to try and slow down a little bit and listen a little bit more. It's just because I had things to say and to add about everything you said, and I just wanted to contribute, but I would jump the gun a little bit. Also, I do this thing where, like that, I'll talk and I'll pause because I like to speak dramatically a little bit, and in that pause, people will start to speak. Also, because I'm trying to think of other stuff to say to add, because I'm trying to finish my thought and I'm looking for the right words. And then they'll start, and then I just keep talking where I left off, like my ears don't hear them. So then I just talk over people.
Well, dude, I'm so new to podcasting that I kind of am just happy when someone takes the reins from me because I feel like dead air. But then again, I listen to so many podcasts where it's like, okay, we're quiet for like 5 seconds. That's fine. But here in my head, I'm like, oh my God, 5 seconds. Like we got to fill the space, but it's like, whatever. Like it's just, it's almost a background thing for me and when I listen to a podcast. So I imagine that's the same way. So yeah, but you're good, dude. Don't worry about it.
Agreed.
I do have a topic at some point that I'm really excited to bring up, and I could just do it now if we want. Guys, have you seen the trailer for Hogwarts Legacy? The gameplay trailer?
Yes. I have not.
Dude,
it's out? When did it come out?
It came out last Thursday. It's 15 minutes.
Think about it.
It's how they perfected the trailer because it shows literally what a game should be, what a game is supposed to be. It's not just a cinematic thing. It's 15 minutes of just explaining every detail. And I kind of wish you've seen it, but then again, dude, holy shit. It was probably the perfect gameplay trailer. Like, I'm so hyped for it. And I just want to preface, all the J.K. Rowling stuff, of course, it's prevalent. There was a big discussion online about it. I'm just gonna, for the sake of the podcast, push that to the side, even though I don't think, we should in reality, of course, because I still think it's a huge topic of discussion and it should be weighed, But outside of that, I'm just saying, game. Perfection.
I don't know. Isn't it still? I thought they said it's going to be a multiplayer thing.
Yeah,
and it's not a multiplayer thing. It's not.
Oh, it's not.
Like, it's listed as a single player game now. It's not listed as like a cooperative thing. So I don't know if it's going to be like extremely limited, because usually that's what happens when they list it as a mainly single player game. Is there's going to be like, you can assist here, or like something lame.
I'm not sure if I like that more or less, actually, because honestly, I'm getting to the point where I really like single-player games over multiplayer games. Multiplayer games are fine, but I like having that narrative I can follow from some writer or storyteller. And I'm really been enjoying going back and looking at older games with stories I've missed versus, all the hours I put into trying to grind to become mildly good at a game only to get slapped by another 6-year-old, who tells me he banged my mom last night. As far as what you were saying, Brad, last thing, and then I'll let you keep going. And sorry. It's important to remember all the J.K. Rowling stuff, yes, but I think also even past that, and I'm not trying to ignore that, but I'm just thinking like in terms of a property that's worldwide acclaimed and is its own. It's like it has its own mythology at this point. It's a whole new genre almost of a kind of fantasy, almost like with Tolkien or something. I think at a certain point, it almost belongs to the public and not so much to the writer. Yeah. I guess while she's still alive, she'll make money off of it, and that's a thing they'll have to figure out. But at a certain point, it'll just be the Harry Potter world. Yeah. And regardless of what she did or didn't do in life, it'll be Harry Potter. Yeah. And I think that's what people will hang on to. I
want to support the devs as much as I can. I think the biggest thing is that she just gets paid from it, and then she, I believe from what I've heard, uses it for the wrong reasons. But yeah. It's I agree with you. I definitely want to support the devs, because when I watched another behind the scenes look and they were like really passionate about it, they seemed like this was a passion project for most of them. So I was like, man, I just, it's a tricky thing, but I'm definitely going to play it. That's just where I stand. But
you do kind of, I feel like a lot of people struggle with removing the artist from its art kind of thing. So I can get how it could leave a sour taste in some people's mouth.
Yeah.
But I also agree about the single player thing. Like, there's a huge majority of people in the world that would prefer single player games. Like, I've been playing a lot of single player games. Me and Brad have been playing a game that we'll talk about hopefully today. And I feel like it should be an option. And I almost wanted to blame it on marketing, but it wasn't marketing. I feel like when everyone saw the original announcement, we were like, oh, we can be Harry Potter with each other, like instantly, instead of like, oh, there's a Harry Potter game, So that's why it feels like kind of a letdown for me. It's because I wanted more of a open world, me and my friends Harry Potter, and less of like a you can come help me every now and then Harry Potter.
That's interesting you say that, because they did make that a huge thing where it was going to be called, at least that's what we remember from like 2 years ago. And they showed, obviously there's going to be a single player. They showed story stuff going on. But I didn't see anywhere specifically where they weren't like shooting the idea down of co-op, but they didn't highlight it at all. So it's kind of a gray area. Either way though, like, it was still exciting, but I do hope they have multiplayer.
But it's not in the form of so like no matter if there is or isn't multiplayer at this point, it's not like an MMO, for example.
No, I don't think so. It's like, definitely an RPG, but it's like, the question is it an MMO RPG? No, I'm pretty sure RPG it almost makes me think if they were to do if they were to do co-op, it would maybe be like how they're doing Gotham Knights, where it is a story mode, but you also have a friend team it or tag in, whatever. Yeah. I'm not sure, something like that.
It's like a classic co-op game, kind of.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. It would be great to have more people, though. Yeah,
to go back on my previous statement a little bit, just of all the games that could be multiplayer, this would be one I would be very excited for.
Exactly.
To be in that world with everybody and like have everybody in their own houses and to have like events in those houses. I think that would be really cool. So
it's kind of like Bully,
that seems a little bit like a missed opportunity, but
you would want friends to like go to class with you. I feel like some of the people would be like, I ain't going to class. I'm like, bro, you got to get your credits, bro. You're going to fail Hogwarts. Like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm a dark wizard now. I'm like, he's lost to me.
Oh my god, that makes me think of like Arma, where it's so simulated to a point that you literally like have a job you got to go to.
Yeah. Dude.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, pushing school in a video game is crazy. That's crazy though.
Be ready for your owls.
What I'll say this, dude, there was two things that really stuck out to me in the gameplay trailer. One thing is you can access the room of requirements, and that's where you can do potions, level up your gear. And there's even I can't remember the word for it. They had a word for it, but there's a house elf that helps you create this. I don't even fucking know what was going on. They were like building a house and you can build like an area. It's weird. I don't know. And I wish I'd seen the trailer more than like twice to be able to figure out what the fuck they were talking about. But the second thing is you can also rescue animals, bring them back to the room of requirement and heal them. And I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, that's kind of what Newt Scamander does, but I'm like, I'm doing that. Like, that's cool to me. As you rescue animals.
From like the Dark Forest?
No, just injured animals that you find, because you can even go in dungeons and shit. It's like it has such
so
a
it is
fucking
still
cool.
Like open world then?
Yeah,
yes.
You can go to Hogsmeade and go to vendors.
That's pretty cool.
It feels like Red Dead. When you go into a shop, you see the person, you talk to them, you pick out what you want.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Ride your broomstick, dude. It's crazy.
I gotta see the trailer.
I know, dude. It's worth seeing it, despite what we're talking about. So
I have to counteract that statement you made about the room of requirements. It made me a little upset just because, right?
Really?
When you describe the kind of game that Harry Potter is, I'm expecting us to have to gather stuff, like physically go gather stuff and then create potions and such,
Yeah.
But the way they worded it in the room of requirements was whatever you need will just be there. And that sounds kind of hand-holdy. Like that sounds lazy, and like I prefer games where you're like, maybe there's an option where you can just do that, but here are the materials, go find the materials, come back kind of deal.
Yeah.
So
there's looting. And there's looting and crafting also. Of course, crafting, obviously.
Yeah,
but there is looting. So it's like, I don't know how the room of requirements going to exactly work. That's such a hard word for me to say. I keep like stumbling over it. But I don't know how it's going to work because, you think of it, it's like the room of requirement. You get whatever you want. But it's like, it's a game. Like, how's that going to work? But especially when there's looting. The narrator
literally said in that frame, it was like, whatever you need will be here.
Can I get a couple bitches?
That's just a quote, though, right? Like, that's literally what the room of requirements for. It gives help to those in need. It gives
Yeah.
So that it's that part is justified. But I mean, I can't contribute because I have to see the trailer to know the context. But it makes me feel like maybe you're reading into what it's saying a little bit too much. Because what you need could be more than just what you need to play the game. What you need could, like, having a workbench in a game, for example, isn't a gimme. We assume it is as gamers, but having that ability to create and mix stuff isn't, just there in any world. So that maybe they're, like, justifying it canonically like that. Like, this is the place where, as a wizard, you can have anything, whereas other wizards just, get stuck in their boot home.
That's probably what it is. I kind of agree with you on that. I think that's probably right. It's funny. He hasn't even seen the trailer. He's a wizard.
I may just be giving the benefit of the doubt, though. I'm always a little bit trying to...
No, We're signal, back. Baby. He's back. He's back. He's back. He's good.
I've never seen it do that. That was different.
What he's doing is he's cutting off the camera and he's switching with his twin brother. His identical twin, and it's just another Nazar. He's like,
to keep the conversation rolling,
Exactly.
It's a fourth person, yeah. No, I feel like you're right. I don't know. I feel like just because they're wizards is the only reason I don't want to accept that. Because I feel like there shouldn't have to be one spot, I'm a wizard. But like, it makes sense that would be what that is. So
I agree with you, though. I would absolutely prefer like foraging or like having to go find materials like you do, say like Breath of the Wild or something to craft stuff. Because literally like that's what herbology and potions making is. And like even in the real world, alchemy, that's why it was interesting. It's like you have to go find these strange, crazy ingredients, which from a game making perspective gives you a reason to add like certain kinds of geographic locations.
Yeah.
So if they don't do that, that just seems like a huge missed opportunity for an open world game, because I've never played an open world game where you don't have like a gathering mechanic.
Well, I also wanted to point out that when I was watching this, and I probably mentioned this earlier, as the coolest thing to me about this was it showed how much different gameplay features, I guess, they had. Obviously, you have puzzles, you have dungeon crawling, you have looting, crafting, classes, flying, vendors, and shit. So I imagine there is going to be that element where you are tasked to go out and obviously do that in mini games and stuff. Jacob?
Do you get to make your own wand like you do in Fallen Order? Because I would really like to make my own wand like you do in Fallen Order.
That would be awesome.
I want to say one thing. I don't want to sidebar because I want to keep talking about Hogwarts, but I'm playing Fallen Order and I'm close to beating it. But I went back to other planets to gather shit I missed. But that's about it. That's all I got.
I've 100% did that game. I got every last thing you can get in that game.
And I'm embarrassed to say that Wes has Game Pass and he did it for 1 month. For $1, and he's already beaten the game because he is the type to sit there and nonstop play it until he beats something, and I can't be like that.
Hey, if all you do is just go forward in the story, you could probably beat it. I mean, not quickly, but
did it also.
Not. Oh wow.
Yeah, that's the point.
I mean, I wanted those ponchos, man. They're hard to get.
Right? I know. Anyways, Hogwarts. Back to Hogwarts. Yeah, so like I said,
I'm happy to hear that, so I can finally talk about that ending with you, because I've waited literally like 2.5 years now to talk about that ending. And now my fire has gone out a little bit about it, but...
I know. Well, I was going to say, I'm 100%ing it. Well, not 100%ing it, but beating the game. 100% by Obi-Wan, when Obi-Wan show comes out. So I will definitely have it by then. So, yeah.
Did you finally get off Dathomir last
Yeah, I got off it the first time, and then I had to go somewhere, and then I had to go back. So that's where I'm
at.
Yeah,
you have to come back, but I mean, have you got the second time? Are you done with that? Are you still on Dathomir, right?
Yeah, I'd say I have
second time
like
gets
2
crazy.
hours left of the game. 2 hours and a half, maybe, if I'm just sticking to the story, but something like that.
One of my favorite all-time games I've ever played.
Oh, shoot, but then I'm about to get derailed, though, and this is my 100th time talking about it, and I'm not even joking, but Lego Star Wars comes out in 2 weeks today, so I gotta beat it before then. And I already pre-ordered it.
Man.
Bro, that's the first time I pre-ordered a game, and
let's just put a little pin in that one. That'll we'll talk about all that scheduling trouble you're gonna have in the future here, and any last points we have to make on Hogwarts stuff.
Man, I'll be honest. And I was playing Fallen Order today too. I had a bit of a lazy day, like I said. I was getting headaches, man. And I was playing some, and I was just like, man, there's no way I'll have energy for a podcast. Like, this is crazy. I'm out of my mind. But I've been having so much
stuff
freelance
like
work.
Coke Zero and the diet drinks. They have some kind of chemical in them, acetamide or some garbage that will make you more prone to headaches.
Oh, that's not good news.
Well,
I really just need to go back to the store and get my regular coffee. I think that's just what's gonna fix it. I'm like that now. I can't believe I just half a year ago never drank coffee. Now?
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought you didn't drink coffee.
I do now, man. You just got to get the right creamer for me. But I don't even put too much. I'm kind of itching towards black. Closer to black. But but closer.
I'm happy.
I rarely ever put creamer.
I'm happy you're also a coffee drinker. So me and my friend, he's like an expert at coffees and teas. He has tried like everything on the globe in the realm of coffee and tea. So I'm going to purchase the most expensive coffee in the world, and we were going to make a video drinking it. He even got me this really bougie coffee maker where you have to ground your own beans and then boil the water and watch it swirl over. And it looks so good. Like, it's pleasing to watch. So, if you wanted to be in that, you could definitely drink that expensive coffee with.
I would try it.
That's getting hipster barista level.
Yeah, it's extremely hipster coffee. 100% hipster.
It's not civet coffee by any chance, is it?
I don't know the name of it. It's the one that's like, it's like an hourglass with a wooden top to it.
I don't know what it looks like. I just know that one of the most expensive coffees in the world comes from an animal called a civet. And I say that it comes from because you know what it is exactly.
Yeah.
They eat beans, cocoa beans, or cacao beans, or coffee beans, whatever it is, and then they crap it out, and then they collect it and get rid of the crap, and then sell it.
Yeah, you're talking about the exact same coffee. That is
that sounds so tasty.
Most expensive coffee in the world, and it's supposed to be delicious, but it's poo coffee. It's straight up poo coffee. So
I think the one I'm talking about is elephants. Is that like, I'm pretty sure like elephants eat it or something. Like it's an animal eating it, so you might be talking about the same one.
I hope it would not be elephants. My God,
it was some animal, but it's like $50 a cup.
Like Jurassic Park.
Hell no.
Oh God.
I'll stick to my
we're
Walmart.
drinking.
I'm sticking with Folgers. Thank you very much.
Kahlua over here. That's me.
I thought that was a drink.
Kahlua coffee, I think. Okay, you know what? I just realized I don't even buy the coffee. I'm pretty sure I leave that for everyone else, but they get Kahlua, and I'm just like, shit,
Kahlua
I love it.
I thought it was a coffee liqueur.
I don't know. I don't know.
Or vanilla. It's a liqueur of some kind.
I have no idea, I'll be honest with you. But, you know, like we've talked about, anyway. Dunkin's coming around the corner, so who knows? There goes all my money.
I don't like Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Either they burn it every time I've ever had it, or it's just like way more bitter than I like my coffee.
I've never had I might have had a donut once, but I've never been in a Dunkin'. Like I hear it get memed on enough to where I'm just like, I mean, it's fine. Like I don't have standards when it comes to food, but I'm just like, I mean, there's a Starbucks next door, so I might just go to that because I'm more comfortable with that, especially since we had one on campus. So it's just what I'm more comfortable with, really.
It's tastier.
Well, I think most people do, honestly. I mean, that's why it's so popular. I drove by one recently, and the line was out in the street, and this was a highway or something, or just like a busy ass street. I was like, damn. So, I mean, that's not even uncommon.
At MTSU on days I had physics that was like a 3-hour lab class mix. I had like 20 minutes for lunch. It was 40, but I had to walk 20 minutes. So I had like 20 minutes for lunch, and I always go to that Starbucks.
Yeah.
That was like right nearby. And occasionally they would be very, very busy. And I would be very upset because it was going to take them way longer just to get a stupid sandwich made.
And then COVID happened, and they threw out all the seats, and it was like a weird ass diagonal line. You go in there and order, and you have to leave.
There.
No, yeah, that's what happened.
Never there for the.
But when there were seats still there, I remember my first day of class. They're like, meet here because we don't have a room. So we met at Starbucks because we didn't have a fucking room. And then we found out what the room was, and it was some shitty ass. Like whatever, and the teacher left. She's like, "I'm not dealing with this," and so we had to like wait. God. We're like, "When like we need a teacher."
No, the one I went to, there was a ratty ass couch that had like holes and fuzz in it that you could sit on.
That was probably me.
Yeah, and speaking of COVID stuff, just as a side note here as well, on my campus, mask mandates just got lifted.
Really?
So,
dude,
yeah,
I don't go anywhere these days, and I'm just like, I forgot.
Which I mean, the CDC did too. So,
yeah, damn. I forgot all about masks, and not because I don't wear one. I just don't go anywhere much, unless I'm going. The only places I've gone, and yes, I do wear one when I go to Walmart if I shop there. But the only other places I've gone to are outside locations where I'm filming something, or this factory I've been going to film a commercial. But that's about it.
Saw the commercial, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Very professional.
Thank you.
I do have one question.
Yes.
Is it your music or music they gave you?
It's royalty free that I found online that matched close to an example video. So yeah, I was just like,
It seemed like that mix of industrial and like trying to appeal to the common person that companies kind of go for.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem. I am so bad at trying to get that perfect balance between good and boring ass, like a guitar strum that you just like whatever.
I thought it matched.
Yeah,
it was like it. I didn't. That particular, like, which I don't like that kind of music a lot of times anyway, but that particular song, like,
yeah, it fit with the example video that they sent. So this company sent me an example video, and I was like, I'm just gonna basically copy this template, and I kind of just did that. And my dad thought I did it better, but it's my dad, so he's biased. But yeah,
it looked really professional. I was impressed.
Thanks. I had to shoot. I'm shooting one for a bank now, and God, I just was so worn out. I went Sunday like an hour and a half away to shoot something, and it wore me out. But I have to do it tomorrow too.
How many hours would you say you put into the filming, like location filming, for this last project?
For the last project, I kind of logged it as 4 hours. 8 hours in total, probably. Of filming.
And it was about a 35-second video?
Yeah. And editing was pretty damn easy. I did spend some time trying to denoise it. Dude, I spent $70 on denoising software, but it's incredible software. And so it just cuts down on the graininess, which I'm not going to do it on this video because it's who gives a shit. But
when I was in film in school, we had a project, and I wanted to do just like that. I wanted to go get stock footage it's not stock footage, but it's
just B-roll.
It's like, B-roll of machinery and equipment for Magneti Morelli to promote them in the Giles County area. And I went to a front desk lady, and I was like, hello, I'm working with Martin Methodist University, who's working with our local board, and they want to make a film that is promoting the local area, and I'd like to, if possible, film here on location and add this into the video. Would that be possible? And she's like, yeah, sure, leave your number. And I guarantee the second I turned around, she like crumpled that shit up and threw it in the trash cans, because I didn't hear a word from anybody ever. She looked like she didn't even want me standing in front of her. I mean,
oh god, man. I was lucky enough to get reached. They reached out to me for this one, which I think has been most of my projects, because I'm just so bad at going out there that they come to me, which I prefer it like that. But I know
sounds like a nice business model.
Yeah, it's, we're just doing it. At least I get something on my reel. That's the most important part, I guess. But man, I've been editing this new Common Odyssey video, and it took me so long to get some extra footage for it, but it's coming around. I've just been lazy because of the other work I'm doing.
How long is this one in the works?
Okay, so I filmed it I don't even know. It's way too long ago. That's not even important
2
anymore.
years? 2 years in the vault?
A year and a half. A year and a half? You sure? Yep. And then I've got super ambitious and started writing the next one, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off or not, but I don't want to commit to anything, so I'm not going to say it on here. But man, Common Odyssey is insane. And I think the worst part about it is watching Community and getting inspired by the budget, the level of everything from that show, and then trying to replicate that in my mind. I'm like, I can't. I don't even know why. I would try.
They have an actual budget. That would be very difficult. Like the paintball episode alone, like that's like thousands of dollars.
Of course. Uh-oh. We're having
Brad's frozen.
There goes.
Connection issue.
Oh, no.
Thank you, weather. One more break. And, play the elevator music now. All right, you're back. We're back.
Okay. Syncing.
Great.
Uh-oh. It's doing it again.
He's gone again.
So, yeah, we're going to cut real quick until we get the feed going.
Welcome back.
Yep, welcome back after technical issues, I guess. It's raining bad or storming, I guess, so it's laggy. But
I can't tell if it's us or you, but considering me and Nazari stay connected, I think it may just be your area.
It's probably me.
I think it's
storming terrible here, though.
I mean, it's raining hard here, but we're not getting a lot of wind.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about again?
Balls.
Yeah, we were talking about testicles. That's right.
Project stuff.
Oh,
the filming,
shit, yeah.
The upcoming Sayber Court video.
Oh yeah, whatever. I mean, you'll see it when it's out, but it's those things are hard to put together. But we were saying, I was saying, of course, Community. Obviously, I'm just saying, I'm kind of proud of myself for being like a one-man band, except having some help here and there. So it is. It's a feat in itself, I guess.
I was gonna ask. So you have scripts now? Like, do you do scripts now? I know you've done a little bit of monologue scripting before for yourself. But
all the monologue is scripted, which is embarrassing to say because some of it is terrible writing.
Indeed.
Some of the cutaways are scripted for the most part. All of them are planned. All the cutaway bits. Cutaways. Yeah, those are the heart of it, right? But everything else is improv, so it's a really good balance. For a show. I love the idea of improv and scripted mixed. So. Outside of that,
following that Sugar Pine 7 model, huh?
Dude, I almost forgot that I even started my show based on my inspiration and love for that show, and then now I forgot that completely because I've been doing it for so long, and then also trying to infuse my own style in it.
Talk about forgetting where you come from.
Yeah, I guess I gotta let it get to my head, man. I'm a Gryffindor. What can I say? I might be a Hufflepuff, actually. I'm not fucking sure. I did the Potter test and it gave me Gryffindor, but I really think I align with Hufflepuff. I don't fucking know. It's either one.
Yeah, I also got Gryffindor once, but I think it just gives you Gryffindor unless you give like really specific ansers to stuff.
I could see you being Ravenclaw. That's about damn sure.
I was thinking Ravenclaw a little bit.
I think Wes is Ravenclaw too.
I'm not sure I prefer to be that scholar. Like, I think I am naturally that scholarly, but I don't always like it. So yeah. There's parts of my inner
just pick which common room looks the best. There you go.
Yeah, so everything but Hufflepuff then? Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Hufflepuff is right next to the kitchen. That's a fact. They're right next to the kitchen, so we getting the good food. I'm just saying.
The kitchen or the Great Hall?
It said the kitchen.
Isn't it magic food? What kitchen?
What the fuck? Who cooks the food in Harry Potter?
Is it elves? Do they just apparate? Or is it apparating when you teleport stuff? When Dalby does like the finger snap thing? And wait, that just moves it. Or does it? I don't know. That does. Either. Let's just close a single thought here. There was a time, because I was thinking like what spell that would be. There was a time when I first found Harry Potter and was reading the books and like barely saw it, where I went on a website and just found every Latin listing of every spell in the Harry Potter books. And I would just read them and learn them, and then I would go outside and find a really good stick, and I would practice them with different flish and swishes.
Yeah. Dude, that's nerdy. No, I'm just
kidding.
That's cool.
Great.
That's great.
That's amazing.
I mean, I'm going to be into that. When I start my Hogwarts Legacy, is that how they're branding it? Right?
Oh, I hate you.
When I start my Hogwarts Legacy, I'm probably going to be like that too, honestly. Like, why not?
Yeah,
I'm so excited, guys.
I was in 5th grade trying to phonetically pronounce Latin.
Yeah. Oh, I might even skip over Gotham Knights and just play Hogwarts.
I'm not excited for Gotham Knights. Like,
it looks fine.
It's okay, I guess. I'm not drawn to, like, I don't know. A co-op beat 'em up in that world just seems, I don't know, stilted, disconnected. Because you go in one direction, they go in another, and maybe you meet up, maybe you don't. When you fight, like, because you have somebody else there, it's not as tense.
It's like maybe it's like a Dying Light 2. Or not Dying Light 2, but just Dying Light in general, kind of where you
but that's what like made it better. Is like we had each other's backs when we would play that game, so you didn't feel as abandoned in the world. Which, if you had played it completely alone, like say like Dead Island or something, that feeling of complete isolation really kind of immerses you more in the game and makes you feel terrified.
Yeah, I don't know shit about this game personally. I just know Court of Owls, all that stuff, which is cool to me. But outside of that, I don't know anything about it. We'll see if it'll be as polished as I hope it will be, because it is by a company that I don't think has made a game in a long time. So either they just, have been working on this game for a long time, or, I think the last one they did was actually Arkham Origins. So long time ago.
At the very least, I would really hope this one's actually next gen and not just like running. Have you noticed that? Like the game. So whenever you have a generation, there's always the like leftover video games that get brought over where they just don't look that great, but they were made, so now they got to get released. Versus the ones that are actually made and optimized for the new stuff. So whatever this is, I just at least hope it looks good. Because,
I don't think it'll be as and I'm going to compare the two just because I don't think it'll be as polished as the Suicide Squad game, because that one's by Rocksteady, which has made all the Arkham games outside of Origins, and Origins was kind of the lesser one. But Suicide Squad comes out in a year, so I don't know. Whatever.
I forgot that was a thing.
It looked fun for the gameplay. Like, I don't give a shit about Suicide Squad as an IP. I just thought the gameplay looked fun. I don't know. Maybe they have
a good animated movie.
I have yet to see that.
Assault on Arkham. I've seen like clips from it. Assault on Arkham. Yeah. It's gruesome. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've yet to see it though. Sheesh, that reminds me though. We watched, I guess you guys didn't, but we watched The Batman. I just want to throw it out there that me, Skylar, Wes, Bailey watched it. And maybe,
did you like it?
Well, I was thinking maybe just wait until if I ever get them on the pod, which who knows when that'll be, just talking about it. But since it's so relevant, I could just say quick thoughts that I did enjoy it. I have minor criticism. But outside of that, I'm really happy it exists, and I'm going to leave it at that because I know you haven't seen it. So that is that.
I haven't seen anything good, and I also haven't seen anything bad said about Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Oh, I think he was a thing that most people, when I've watched a lot of reviews, that was a thing that everyone was like, no, it's good. He nailed it. Yeah. It was other stuff.
I mean, I think he's a good actor. So
yeah.
I think he would probably, I think he was going to do good in whatever he did. I just, sometimes something fits, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was really good, but that's my non-spoiler review. Tune in next week where we will be reviewing what's another movie that has come out. I can't keep up. Oh, The Godfather, 50th anniversary. We'll be reviewing The Godfather. No,
I am actually really excited about that. I want to go see those in theaters.
They, I don't know if they were playing them anymore, but they were playing in February. And
that already happened, didn't it?
Yeah, I decided not to see it.
Yeah.
Yes. My cousin just got the 4Ks for them, and he's been showing me them, and I'm like, damn.
55.
Don't do this to me.
Maybe.
Don't do this to me, man. Yeah, we'll go in 5 more years. I would love to see it in theaters, but I just skipped over it.
Maybe I just saw something that, I don't know.
I genuinely do think that's one of the greatest films ever made, even though everyone else says it is. Everyone else says it is, obviously, but personally, I do agree with that. I really do.
You know something I don't agree with?
Uh-oh.
I actually don't like Godfather 2 that much at all.
And that's when I haven't seen it.
I really like the first Godfather, and the second one's a good movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I didn't
That
like
is a hot take, though. But I haven't seen it, so I can't comment. I wish I could, though. I gotta watch it soon, though.
It was more dramatic. I mean, it definitely was like there was a lot more actor drama. But
yeah. I just want to see Robert De Niro as a young Don Corleone.
I do like that. Well, yeah, it doesn't work anymore, though. He's 80. He no longer looks young. We've seen that from The Irishman.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're still talking about
the second one.
Sorry, yeah. I was thinking that was like another thing that was going to happen. But
yeah, they're rebooting Godfather.
I was literally thinking about that scene when I said that. I was like, of all the stuff though, I really didn't enjoy watching those scenes with him on the streets as a young Don Corleone.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I heard just skip the third one, so let's just leave it at that.
I haven't even looked at it. The Sopranos make fun of it like consistently in Al Pacino's performance, and it was made in '93, so I'm not going to touch that with a 50-foot pole. Godfather ends with 2.
Yep, dude. Ooh. Now I'm thinking of...
So, as perfectly demonstrated there, I'm not great at, like, even movies I want to see, I'm not great at keeping up with them. So, with that being said, you were talking about stuff we've seen or stuff we want to see. I think you were anyway. Mm-hmm. I finally saw The Many Saints of Newark, speaking of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
It came out last November.
Something like that. Right? It was last fall, yeah.
And I've seen it now. It was
That's what I heard.
But it was because it was a story that you wouldn't care about. It wasn't anything said like that happened in the show, and the characters you did know from the show, you barely saw at all. So, like, it just kind of missed a lot of potential. Yeah. Like, I wanted to see young Tony, a lot of young Tony, and for half the movie, you don't even see James Gandolfini's son playing young Tony. You see this other little snot-nosed kid.
Really?
And he's, like, nice. He's like, oh gosh, Mom, I didn't mean to drop the OJ. Oh, I'll pick it up. No,
nothing screams mafia like that. I'll tell you what.
I'm exaggerating a little bit, but like, and he like smoked with his friend or whatever because it's the 70s. But I wanted to see more young James Gandolfini as like that trailer they showed where he's like, what did you say out of the phone booth?
Yeah,
that's like a friend he has. That's not just some random asshole he saw on the street that said something to him. I wanted that to be some random asshole that he beats his ass. And then it becomes a little bit more of a... No, but it just followed... it told the story of Dickie Moltisanti, but not a good one.
Your feelings and thoughts towards that is me on Boba Fett show, or Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, really?
To a T. Yeah, that's how I felt about it.
It's no good? It's not good?
There's 2 episodes that are actually really good, especially episode 6 was just like... I was just like, holy fucking shit, that's literally what I said. But the rest of the show, I didn't like it. I really didn't. Is it too... I don't know if I don't think I've talked about it on pod yet. I'm sorry if I have, but my quick thoughts was that, were that it felt like a bunch of, like, it's supposed to be like a crime show. Boba Fett's like a crime lord now. I'm like, okay, this could be like, like not necessarily dark and gritty because it's Star Wars. Go ahead.
I thought you meant when you said crime show, like CSI Boba Fett.
Yeah. And that's what they were marketing as.
Drops the visor.
Yeah. Oh my God. I wish I had the quick wit to joke about that, but I don't. So back to what I was saying. Fuck, that's funny.
I did say, just from like the little pieces and bits I saw the promotional material before it really came out, I did wonder if it was a little too like, you can make a really good show that's just dramatic from like a political standpoint, but if the whole idea is Boba Fett has become the new crime syndicate lord, but just kind of like hangs back and is trying to get to know people. I can see how that could be slow for a little while.
And I'm okay with them taking risk and doing stuff. If anything, Star Wars, I welcome that, because I feel like a bunch of the audience of Star Wars, and this is my biggest complaint recently, especially being on Twitter, is, for example, they want Mace Windu back from the dead just to see him. And it's just like what we're doing right now is I feel like we are throwing good writing, good storytelling out of the window for nostalgia or just for cheap thrills, I guess. And we don't want that, especially when Star Wars has a singular canon, unlike DC and Marvel, where you can kind of fuck around. And I just we need to be careful about what we wish for or what we want, because I feel bad for Lucasfilm, because they're getting shit thrown at them all the time, deferring things, and they just got to do what they think is best. So that's what I'm scared about Obi-Wan, is I really hope they nail it however it is. But my quick thing.
I'm just gonna be happy.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, last thing about what I was saying about Boba Fett, my quick critiques was that it felt cheap, as in it felt like they were on a set and not actually there. Like, you could tell that it was just like, what are we doing? It felt like kids fighting in a sandbox, really. It felt so even more kiddie than I think it should have, because I get Star Wars is for kids, whatever, it's for everyone, all ages, whatever your argument is. But being a crime show, specifically with Boba Fett, it missed the mark for me. But that's it. I'm done. That's all I gotta say.
I as long as I get to see Ewan McGregor on screen again, I'm happy. Hey, me and you both, especially with Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader. I keep forgetting that's a thing. I always get excited when you say it every time.
Man, oh god, dude.
I've just been seeing these travel.com, some kind of ads for some travel company, and Ewan McGregor's the narrator and in the video, and that alone is
yeah, we know what you're doing. It's too good of timing. Yeah. Did we talk about this? Did you see the Obi-Wan trailer yet?
I think so, yes. I think we talked about it.
Yeah, that is right. Although, you did see it.
I don't remember if it was on the podcast or not.
No. It was on a phone call, because we talked on the phone recently. Yeah, we saw Obi-Wan and we were like, yeah, it looks like a really good trailer. I think my critique was the Inquisitor and how he looks, but
yeah, you were telling me
I'm not doing that out of pettiness. My critique is that if you guys made it look better in 15 years ago or 17 years ago, then what's stopping you from using Disney money to make it look maybe just as good, if not better, today? I don't know. I don't know about that.
What do you mean look better years ago? What are you referring to?
Sorry, I'm glad you brought that up, because
I know what you're talking about, because you mentioned this. But go ahead.
In Revenge of the Sith, they have a character who is the same species, and he looks fantastic. I assume practical effects, but it just is man, that's just a detail that could have easily been reworked. Hopefully, I don't know how this works on Disney's side, but I don't know.
From a viewer standpoint, I'm always for practical effects, but when it comes to latex makeup specifically for an actor, I think if they can get away with CGI, they probably should, because that's nightmarish to do. As far as what you're saying about the Utapai, I don't know my lore enough to actually know what they're called, but I'm going to say it's Utapayan people. That dude specifically strikes me as like a shaman or something from a hole in the ground of the city. Yeah. So I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt and say maybe just over, the time that the war got there, it became more populated in certain areas more so than others. Because if it was that was the case, then it makes sense that he's all gnarled and has gnarly teeth, and not whereas the Grand Inquisitor's clean skin and perfect teeth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe. I was going to say, though, when you did bring that up about the prosthetics and stuff, that's one of the reasons I heard that Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka has shorter hair piece thing than Shakti does in Revenge of the Sith, is because, she just couldn't perform well with it actually being full length, I guess.
That's true, but that's true, and they didn't change the design, but they kind of changed the proportions. Like Ahsoka, if you in the Clone Wars, Shakti's things are way bigger than Ahsoka's when they're both kind of close to adult.
Yeah.
And even so but I guess you're saying they're even smaller than that. The Clone Wars art style kind of made them smaller, I think, versus the same with the Grand Inquisitor. All the proportions for the human makeup and stuff is different than it is on the show.
Yeah.
I think a little bit.
One thing I've seen an argument is, everyone's different. Just because they're the same species doesn't mean they have to be, the same length and shit. And then I'm actually really cool with that.
Which is better, honestly.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. So
uniqueness, no problem. I think it's cool.
I just think the Grand Inquisitor just looks, just doesn't. It could look better, is all I'm saying. But that's
I just saw. I mean,
minor
I'm gonna have to go back and look at it, because I saw it and I was like, I registered that it looked kind of weird, but at the same time, I was like, I've only seen this character animated and in a video game. So as far as I'm aware, actually, I'm not even sure if I saw him in the video game. I just saw Inquisitors. I don't think you see the Grand Inquisitor. He's only I've seen in Clone Wars, and I've only seen him a little bit even in Clone Wars. Rebels.
Yeah.
And I've only seen Rebels. I haven't watched all of Rebels. I watched like 2 seasons worth and stopped. But I've seen some of the bits and pieces of the other stuff. But like I said, with proportions, like no matter how they did him, he's not going to look the same. He can't. Eyes can't be that big. Faces can't be that narrow. Arms can't be that lanky. So it's going to look a little different. And I thought that was what I was registering. But you're saying it's even further than that? Like it's the actual effects being used are like less?
I literally don't even know. A little
worse?
I don't know.
I mean, there's way more CGI being used for everything now. Which again, it's cheaper, it's faster, it's easier, it's better for the actors' comfortability and all that other stuff. But practical effects in movies, you doesn't get much better than that when it's done well.
Well, sorry, Nazari, that we just had a little Star Wars talk right there. We'll include you in. I got something I will bring up to you. Did you know that you can add on? I love how I'm just completely segueing it. Did you know that on stream, I don't even know what you call them. You might have a technical term for this, but you can have a button under your stream that people can click and send you food. It's called Treat Stream. Yes, I feel like you've heard of this because I'm like, of course yeah. We don't live in an area where that probably could happen as well. It's Papa John's, Grubhub, and Jimmy John's.
Yeah, I was going to say that area has like DoorDash and Grubhub now.
Yeah, and you can set a time limit. Like people can send food after an hour or to 12 hours or even more than that. Man, that'd be crazy if you had a huge stream. Whew, you'd be getting pizza every hour.
Dude, the online world is getting closer and closer to that whole like futuristic thought of everybody spends every waking hour online and with each, like...
Yeah,
I just think of Ready Player One, like that world. Like we're not that far off. Honestly, like just a little bit more here or there, a few more treat hubs or whatever. Some more no contact drone delivering your food while you don't even have to take off your VR headset. You just see the real world in AR, eat, and then go back into VR, and then in your perfect suit that has haptic feedback. I mean. We're all just about to be living on the tech plane.
Imagine I just open my window and a drone comes in. Thank you. Oh, fuck. I asked for a large.
Oh, my God.
Could you? I'm sorry. And then you start treating the technology like it has feelings because we're so jaded.
Have you seen the video of the big-ass Amazon blimp that has a bunch of drone babies that just come out of it like a full-on dystopian Hitler universe?
Yes.
And it's just flying above the city?
That's a nightmare. Jesus. I don't want that.
Fucking 1984.
Dude, oh God, I'm seeing Mad Max in my head right now. I don't know. I'm seeing some Fury Road. Fuck. I'm gonna title this "We're Wizards Now" as the podcast since we're talking about or maybe I should save that for when Hogwarts comes out. I'm gonna save that title. I think probably. Maybe I'm gonna save that for time. I'm gonna save that title.
So with the gameplay trailer, do they have a release date?
Yes.
That'd be the next question.
Kind of. Holiday 2022. So
that's not a release date. Hopefully. It could be postponed another 4 quarters.
Yep, probably.
That doesn't mean unless you have a day and a hard day, which could still be postponed. Yeah. But unless it may not be, then you have a date. But if it's just fall of 23, Red Dead Redemption was saying it was the next quarter for like 3 quarters. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That shit got postponed like 4 times. How many times does Cyberpunk get postponed? Delayed.
Like a decade, it feels like.
It was a long time. So, I don't take any solace in a year with a season. That doesn't mean shit to me.
Yeah, I know. I'm just, cross my fingers, man. Cross my fingers, bro.
I am always happy.
I'm looking forward to it.
Ultimately happier when a game gets delayed, though. Because I really hope something gets developed for both programmers in, like, any corporate world and game programmers specifically with the way they're used. Because it honestly sounds like a spin shop or a sweatshop, the way they work. Mm-hmm. They may have more arcades, they may have some more 2-hour lunch breaks, but ultimately they're still working like 17-hour days or whatever. And sometimes with no overtime. Yeah. Or if it is overtime, like, I don't know, it's still like forced hours a bit. I don't know.
It doesn't even, we're seeing
the
so
more
much shit about
the adult world
that.
I see, man, the more I see where you're just like, they justify making you work long, long hours for everything. my dad, just as a small tour, he worked at a factory, and his supervisor would come in like 30 minutes left on their shift, and if he did this, it meant he had to stay another 2 hours.
Oh my God. No, reverse the
That's
two. Uno reverse. Uno
that's
reverse.
just how that worked. So, man, I just, I hear that shit, and I'm like, isn't there anything we can, And then on the other hand, I think, well, we're not living in Ukraine, so things could be worse.
Yes.
So maybe
that
I should
is a
just
definite reality check. To check the privilege we have. Dude, it's crazy. I went in my pantry and I checked myself so fucking hard. I looked in, I was like, man, we don't have anything. And we clearly have like cans and shit. And I'm just like, I stopped and I was like, no, dude, don't do that. Don't say that. Like, I checked myself so hard. I was like, I'm not leaving this pantry until I use up something. And then, God damn.
Got nothing to wear, nothing to eat, and nothing to watch on TV means you have all of those things.
Exactly. It was just like, man, you gotta think about it sometimes, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck. It was a wake up call, man. But I try to think about it often though, because I just think it's healthy and important to check the privilege. Yeah.
Agreed.
But yeah. That reminds me, I'm going to leave a link, another link to in the description on the YouTube video to donate to Ukraine and help the children over there because I think that's very, very important.
Yeah, there's some fucked up shit going on.
Yeah,
if anyone specifically over there right now.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to, I'm going to link that in the description. It's just there. So I just wanted to, actually put focus to it this time because I did it in the last one. So, yep. Anyways, what else we doing? What else we got going on before we wrap up, I guess?
Are we still doing the WWE thing? We didn't talk anything about that.
We need to. That's what we're going to bring up. I'm so glad you brought that up.
I'm like...
So WWE game came out, right? And you're trying to get some players in. Man, we'll have to see.
Oh, so this is the one on Wii you talked about for a while.
No, not the game on Wii. We're pivoting to the new one. Yes, 09.
Yeah.
We still need to make that happen as well. But no, I had the whole idea pitched out for us to have our own. So I don't know if you ever played one of the newer 2K games in general, not just wrestling, but they have these game modes where it's kind of like a My Show. They're usually called like My GM or something. And I thought of an idea where we would make our own with our people, but I needed people to actually be in the game. Like everyone has to spend $60 here. It's not a free entry point, so it's...
Yeah, and Lego Star Wars is coming out, so...
Yeah, and Lego Star Wars.
If there's
co-op, 65, 77, or whatever it is,
if there was co-op, I'll run over to someone's house, play it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there is, yeah, but I don't know, man. I mean, we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
I've been seeing
he wants you, like, basically to be your own... Is it Vince Price? No, Vince... What's his name?
McMahon?
No, is it? Yeah, okay, it's McMahon. I guess I'm thinking of the money he's always holding. He wants us each to be Vince McMahon and make our own like circuit or our own like WWF, not WWE.
Yeah.
Each do a bunch of wrestlers we make and then have them all fight each other and like show that.
Indeed.
Right.
I've been seeing so many custom creations, and they're like you can really tone in and get the fine details.
There's a lot of crazy creations for that game right now. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, dude. I was also
they've always been championing that.
Oh, there you go. I was gonna say though, I remember in the second episode, I was like talking about Sifu and no one knew what it was about, and then I see a stream notification, Nizari playing Sifu, and I'm like, yes, dude. Now I have someone to speed run against. When we get more comfortable with it, because that's a thing people have been doing. So it's like a roguelite where you do runs. So I can't even beat the second.
So I'm still, I just finished the first one, but like I got to stream the second one soon, hopefully. Okay. So.
Yeah. But you're doing like a series, a playthrough series.
Yeah. Like an actual, and I just figured out, cause I did not know this going in, that it counts your lowest age. Did not know that. So you can redo it and it'll just continue from your, I'm going to do it until I'm 20. I don't care. I'm going to keep playing until I'm just 20. Cause it pisses me off.
Dude, I
redid.
Me so mad. I redid the first map to get a lower age, and I didn't know you could do that, and so now I got 1 year less. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess that was worth it.
So what age is the youngest you completed? Rajut? What is his name? Raja? Something like that.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, the first map?
Yeah.
24, I think.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I'm just gonna keep nodding
For
along
how
like I
many-
understand any of this.
Yeah,
And
sorry.
just-
I just want to say, everyone on the podcast, just look up the rules of Sifu because we are not going to explain it. I might just watch the
Ages?
Sifu video. We just
do an
uploaded.
extreme generalization, right? As you die, you get older. That's pretty much the generalization there.
Yeah.
So he died 4 times, is what that means.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, so we'll need to do a stream where we speed run that shit because that'll be fun. Once you beat it.
Once I
you beat
complete
it, of course.
yeah. Once I beat it.
I'm going to try to do the same thing. I'm going to try to beat it on my own time, but that would be so much fun. But yeah, guys, I don't know.
Are there
what else?
any topics like completely aside from video games, like we can just like pivot away from completely?
We do always
I
talk
love
about
talking
video
about
games.
video games, but I feel like there's a little bit more. We
Nope.
got away from it for a little while there. We got away
Nope.
from it for a little bit.
Nothing.
but-
Dude, that's crazy because
It's
I
mostly-
just started
It's like a
playing
black hole.
games again, and I don't even usually play it. So I don't. The only reason I think what it is the reason I talk about it so much is because I'm watching this YouTube channel called Kind of Funny, and they're like game journalists. So I'm literally just getting the knowledge fed into me through that. And so I don't know. Oh my God, I'm living through other people. It's a parasocial.
What do you think about
relationship.
that job? You ever like analyzed a game journalist job before?
I don't know.
It's
I
different
don't
from
know.
something like a Let's Player. For
I guess.
example.
Yeah. Because they are playing it and they're reviewing it, and that's kind of what their thing is.
But they have to play every release that's on.
A lot of them.
Yeah. That's in the public eye was kind of what I was trying to say. That's anticipated. And then they also have to rate it not academic paper. I was going to write academic paper, but a journal review to be published about it, and then immediately do more and more. I feel like I would get burned off of games very quickly if that's what
I guess that's more of people like IGN. Kind of Funny is more by their own rules, so they can,
Yeah,
like outside Xbox and game ranks.
Yeah.
For those kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was literally just going to comment that statement isn't necessarily true either, though, because IGN is known for their publishers don't even beat the tutorial, like Cuphead. Like he had 5 minutes of him trying one jump, like I don't know if they necessarily play the entire thing or if they just get like a narrative breakdown from somewhere, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking
I don't know shit
when
about
I think
IGN
about
anymore.
it, I think more about the ones that, which I haven't read a lot of the paper or anything, so I can't say for sure, but it seemed like even if they didn't complete the game, they had to play enough of it that they could write a basic summary and their thoughts and feelings about it. I suppose you could fudge that any way you want. But again, it's for the same reason, though, because you have like 10 more games you gotta do that with that week or whatever.
True.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was just thinking, like, I love video games. It'd be like if you were paid to eat ice cream. So you just had to eat Baskin-Robbins 31 flavors every day, and they had a new 31 flavors every other day. Eventually, you'd get pretty sick of ice cream.
Yeah.
Just be like, no
I'll
more
take
ice
the
cream.
GMM route where I get to have a variety of foods.
Hints of caramel.
Oh
yeah,
my
but they
God.
do eating and then they do other shit.
Oh, yeah, of course.
They do the eating and then they do, like, guts bucket head dump on a spelling bee.
But that's like, they do a lot of eating for a good mythical morning. It's almost every episode.
Seems
but that's kind of my favorite content by them. Anyway, I don't know.
Oh, mine too.
Yeah.
I have a question. I'm weird like this. I like lots of things that like make people more human. Like even so, like it's like a weird
okay,
fuzz
stop.
that
We
no
get
matter
it.
what
You're a
gender you are,
replicant.
No,
He's
not real.
He's just trying to
real.
learn. I get it. Okay, Officer KD.
He
What
snitched
turtle?
on himself live.
What turtle on the beach? Why would I flip it over? What?
Let me see your eyes.
What? No, but like, so constantly I hear creators that eat on camera, specifically, Link even mentions this every time, at least a little bit. They talk about how people complain about the sound of eating. Like the chewing and the smacking. Do you hate it?
Yeah,
I find it satisfying to hear. It's almost like living vicariously. Like I'm eating with them, but I'm not eating. So like, I like those sounds.
I
Like,
literally hate eating at a table with people.
Man,
for the
like,
most
get
part,
away
at
from
a
me.
dinner table. Yes. First off, I'd rather just watch TV, but second off, I can't the noise, man. I gotta have music in the background. Restaurant's fine because it's loud, but if it's at a dinner table at home, God, I will blow my brains out all over the microphone.
Sounds like hollow chewing, like echoey chewing, that bothers me because it's annoying. But just hearing someone like bread, like someone eating bread, that satisfying like tearing sound, and then the very like thick chewing, like especially with a really high class microphone.
I guess it's different when I hear it through the screen.
Clearly, I'm in the minority here.
This man is talking specifically about food ASMR at this point. Like, if that's what you're looking for, then I'm sure it's great. But
don't get. But if back up.
Like I don't.
I'm just saying, like, if I'm watching someone play freaking Harry Potter Legends or whatever, I don't want to hear him eating bread. But if I'm specifically looking up man eating bread, then I'm sure that's amazing, you know? That's great.
But it's different through a screen, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's in real life.
It absolutely is.
Difference for me.
It's not as enjoyable in real life, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's just a weird take of mine, I guess. I don't know.
No, but like they do a donut taste test or something. Like Link's very like, does that bother you when you have to hear it?
Like I said, probably not not through the screen. Like I said, not through GMM. I don't think.
But you don't think about it either. It just is like something that's happening.
Exactly.
Like, yes, they've eaten the donut, but you don't. Like it's not registering the.
Yeah.
They have very they both have a different chewing sound. It's different.
Yeah, very odd observation. But
we have different sized jaws.
Yeah, I'm gonna go outside with Nazari just to make you more uncomfortable.
Brad has a little tiny mouth.
I feel like most people have their own individual chewing sounds. I guess I don't know. It's just a very odd statement, but
yeah. Well, what I meant by they eat at the same time though. That's why it's like it's not like everybody's chewing sound is logged in my head somewhere. I just meant
He's like I just have a memory of.
You found me out. I can't.
Yeah. He's like, Brad, are you chewing in there? That's crazy. He knows.
How do you know? But I'm not. How did? Oh my god!
It's just like a walk back cafeteria.
Uh-oh. Hey,
dude,
I would imagine Daredevil would have that power. I just want to say.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Just having that echolocation. I don't even know what the fuck. Anyway, but yeah. Well, you know what? Let's cut it there.
Yeah.
Is
there a less weird note to end on, maybe?
Because I want to put Jacob in this position where he knows that he ended the podcast. Like that. Well, guys, leave a comment. If you can, next time we'll just do a blind. We'll cover up the screens and we'll just say, can you guys guess who's chewing?
And we'll all
Is
eat
that
bread.
comfortable with you guys? And
I don't know, this is something, it's sad, like the same way like finishing food is satisfying, hearing someone else eat interesting food is satisfying to me for some reason.
Hey,
so,
I mean,
I'm just going to leave it with that. No more specific details.
It's not even weird because I'm like, I just know
it's
Jacob.
Really not.
It's because I was just like, I know Jacob. Like it's it's who he is.
You expect him to listen to people.
They always talk about how they get comments. People are like, "Stop it! I don't want to hear this." But I'm like, that's the opposite of what I don't know. Don't. If you were just like, if it was this, it was just.
Man, I wish you would have prepped me on this conversation. I really would have gone in on it, but I'm just kind of like, ooh,
taking it back.
Yeah. No.
Well then,
that's cool.
I guess I'll have to go join some anonymous or something. Beat the
Oh
circle.
my god! Hey, stop. Let's
Jacob
act this out. All right, me and Nazari are in the self help or what the fuck is it called, help anonymous, whatever, and you just join and okay. So
all right.
Oh, all right. Well, we have a new guest here. We don't want to put you on the spot, but if you want to share. Your name and what you're here for. Go ahead. If not, we will continue about Nazari's bionicle addiction.
Hi, my name's Jacob.
Hi, Jacob.
No, both of you are supposed to.
Hi, Jacob.
I'm here because I like the sound of people eating. It got so bad one time, I went outside at Denny's and just listened near the window. I was there for 3 hours.
Oh, honey.
The cops had to come. The court mandated me to service and therapy, part of which is I have to come here and speak to people. I'm a Pisces.
Wow, that guy's sick.
And I am so
You're in the club with me. You have something else wrong with you. What are you judging?
I would totally be the judgmental one at the. I don't care.
Look at all these
and
people.
I'm just crying over here. I'm the ringleader. Like this is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life, and it's bawling my eyes out.
Yeah. I'm like, I just like Bionicles. This fucks watching people eat bread.
What happened? It started with cereal and now I'm outside restaurants.
Psych! I pull the curtain back. I'm not crying. I'm a thespian. This was all an act. Jacob, you're on a prank show.
Japanese most weird. What?
You just got. I actually don't know who got pranked in this situation.
No, it's like a Japanese game show. Like they're like the Sugoi and then flashing colors and lights and the cameras zooming in and out. And,
Oh, it's a Bionicle.
Oh, 50,000 yen! Wait, that's like $6.
Oh, God. It's a Bionicle ad, really, at the end of the day. Come on. This whole podcast is sponsored by Bionicle.
Oh, dude, Bionicle.
I don't know.
What happened to Bionicles?
They're still pushing along, right?
Are they? I thought they've been gone for a little bit. Are you sure?
Dude,
I followed the Lego scene before. I haven't seen Bionicles in a while.
I saw an image on Twitter, and it was a whole shelf from like 1999, I don't know when, and it was just Bionicles and those cool tubes. Woo. I had a Bionicle book.
All right, let's end the pod right there. We're gonna cut it off, and I have a Bionicle.
I need to go to that. I need to go to the anonymous situation now, bro.
Yeah, put him in there.
Guys, thank you for tuning in to Cul-de-sac Trash. I actually think this was my favorite podcast so far, and it's only going to go downhill from now.
We peaked. Episode, was it 6? 5?
5? Yeah, 5. I think it's episode 100, so this is a big moment. I don't know. I doubt we make it to 100, but yeah. Poop.